Here's what we have. I washed off the car a little bit, but you can see I've got one half of the roof working out here in the hot sun, and let me tell you, I've got a good hour into that, but it's coming out. And I'm going to go over there and do the other half. I'm using my 1200 in the 15, and I even found some 2000 I didn't know I had. I don't know if I'm going to use that on the roof, but I'll bet I'll be using it on this car. So I'm going to finish off the roof, or do the best I can in the sun. It's going to hit 90 today, and then continue on the car. I'm going to sand down as much as I can and just work on it all day long. You got to do it. You can't get around it. Been over 48 hours since I painted it now. I've done the hood. Pretty hard to tell right now, but I rubbed out the hood already. Okay. Okay, now while those little drops are drying, let me flick the camera back on here for a bit and show what I'm doing here. Here's my scratch pad. I started, just let me run this across here. Okay. What I found with the scratch pad was that I can get these boo-boos out of here quick. These little dust mites and bugs and things that are stuffed in here. And so I get the heavy spots with the scratch pad real quick like, and then I can go over it with my sandpaper. Okay, let's take a look here. If we look here, I'll put this down over the top of that. So right here, those little things, I found that I can get those out of there with a scratch pad real quick like. Make them go away, and that saves me a lot of time and effort when it comes time to break out the sandpaper. So where's another one? Okay, here's one right here. Right there, huh? Okay, color that one down. There's a big old knot right there. Hear that? That's a bug right there. Embedded, probably embedded in the clear. We'll see. If he was embedded in the base coat, then it's going to be another one of them white spots right there. Figure I might as well sand them out flat. No sense in having a big mound there. That's a pretty big one there. That one really got in there. I'm getting him out though. I'm getting him out of there. Yeah, I think he was all the way down to the bottom. Well, I hope this little daubing in trick works, because that's going to be a nice big white spot there. I think the bug is still there. I can feel him. Oh, this is the hardest I've worked on anything up there. Wow. Well, enough is enough. Anyway, so that's kind of the trick that I'm using here. Look around. See, here's a couple right here. A few right in here. Let's just real quick like get now some of these are some of these little water drips that's when I first started painting, when I was shooting the black went in, so I know that's going to be a problem. I started right in here, so I'm going to be finding some of these. Okay, let me put another hour in here and we can check back. Okay, if you can see this on my fender, started off as 3 scratches, or 3 whatever they are. Maybe somebody, an expert out there, can tell me. I'm starting to sand out these. I don't know about this one. I found something just like this on the other side too. What are they? Here are the other 3 scratches over here on my quarter panel passenger side. I put a little black in them because I thought they went all the way through. But I figured I'd sand some more on them later. But let's come over here and try the old scratch pad trick that I was using to fix some of the other boo-boos on here. See if maybe might be able to hasten this. It looks like it's, I don't know, I think it's just shiny black. I don't think it goes all the way through to the primer. But maybe this will help me to get that out of there. Of course, I don't even know if I should be doing this because maybe it wouldn't show once it's buffed, but I have a feeling it would. I just... It might be easier than just... Wow, it's not coming out easy. I think I'm about done. I don't want to take too much more off. Looks like I'm getting some of it out, though. Well, boy, I'm definitely cutting because I'm bringing a lot of dust up. Tell you what, this is about it for this thing. I don't want to go too far with it. I think I'll just continue with my sanding block and just keep moving on this. Well, I took it out to the cruise at the spot out in Vancouver last night to take a little break and got another trophy. Had it all sanded down, or at least with the 1200. So the hood, I've done all the way to 2000 and I'm starting in on it. So here is what I have. I'm using the number 1. I'm running out of the fine cut cleaner, but I'm just trying to be real careful, but I'm trying to get these scratches out because number 1 didn't quite do it. If we look, maybe we can see on the deck lid, a lot of scratches showing there. So we're just trying to be real careful here. Well, here's another problem. Look what it's done to my goddamn McGuire's pad. I get up too close to this stupid thing sticking out here. If I don't get close to it, this is dull. So as soon as it touches it, it just draws it right in like a magnet and just tears my pad all up. Okay, here we go. Here's the roof. It's going to need much more buffing. Close inspection, you can still see scratch marks. I'm running out of materials. I'm going to have to make a run to Baxter's and get some more material so I can keep buffing. Now I've gone back to sanding. I've gone over this fender with 2000. The top of the fender, I wanted to show this. I've gone ahead and taken it right up to the edges here. You see, when I did the 2000, I didn't worry so much about the edges. I kind of got it right up there. But you can see, you can still see the shiny paint along the crown. So, and then you can still see where I need to sand more on the side of the fender. But you know, I've left paint right on the very top of the edge. So that's the way I wanted to do it. You can see this hood that I did earlier, how cloudy it is on the edges. So, you know, the edges, they're the tough part. Wow, just wiping it put scratches in the thing. Just wiping it off. But yeah, working around the edges, I can't find good information on the net about this fine detail work. You watch these guys showing you how to buff and cut and buff, and they got some door on a sawhorse, and you know, showing you how to all these strokes and everything. But you know, the real fine details, I'm just not finding them, so I have to experiment myself. So I'm going to try some number 2 on this. Okay, here we go. I've got the tops of the fenders prepped with 2000. So here's what it looks like together with all my little defects in here, but little fish eyes here and there. What causes those anyway? Experts? I don't know. They're just little miscellaneous here and there. Very small. I'm going to live with them. You can see on the edge here where I have not completed the sides yet. So this will be gone once I go to the 1500 and the 2000. What I've been doing is I get closer to the edges when I move up to the 1500. I start getting more of this stuff off. And then when I get to the 2000, I'm just using it by hand. I start on the edges first. Just go right onto the edge with the 2000 and go from there. This header panel came out nice. It's got none of those little fish eyes or anything in it. I painted it the day before, so for whatever the reason. So, and the other fender. So it's got a few little dust spots, a couple little defects here and there. But remember, this is how not to do it. This is a driveway paint job. Time to buff now. Alright, we got it out here at Billy Bob's. Take a quick look at it here now that I've done the most of the top of the car. Here's the first application on the fenders, and then I actually put Meguiar's number 1 and number 2. I used the last of my bottles on this header. So if you can tell, the header is the best part of the car right now, this fiberglass header panel. By the way, most of the stuff in the front of this is fiberglass. This, the valance, the hood, of course, this back here, and even the core support underneath is fiberglass. Okay, here we are another day, getting back at it. Busy charging up my Oddysey battery. It's been powering up this car now for the last few cruise-ins I've taken it to. Finally came down, so it's been really good. I don't run an alternator, so I just run off this big old Oddysey battery. Anyway, I've gone down to the 2000 along the side of the car here, and I get all the way to here, and look what I have right there. Yeah, that's exactly what you think it is. I've been waiting for this to happen. This is a rookie mistake, no doubt. Things have looked kind of milky. I've got a funny looking something all along here. I thought maybe it was a lack of body prep. I didn't know. Whatever. I made some mistakes in squirting this car, so take note. I think what I was doing was I was just shooting along like this. I probably came like this, and then I straightened it out, and the paint probably just shot right across the top and missed right in there. It's kind of a little valley right there. I should have aimed my gun straight down and made passes like this to fill it with. So I didn't get enough black or enough clear, so I sanded right through. So there we go. What do we do now? Well, I know I've already learned I'm lousy at blending. Trying to blend clear, there's always a line left. But so I've got that facing me. Wow, I've got it all sanded down with 2000 as night begins to fall. I've started buffing on it. I'm being risky. I use this wool pad because I am a bit of a risk taker. Well, this thing scares me. I'm just using it on the large flat surfaces. I'm going down the side of the car with it. And man, oh man, is it really making this thing pop just right off the bat. So I'm finishing up this one side. I'm going to get the other side before darkness, I think. So let's get this corner. Now see, I don't like corners, so we're gonna watch as we do this. Well, now I see that I missed a lot of the polish spatter on this car last night in the darkness, and now it's like playing hell to get it off. Alright, here we go. Now I've done it. I was trying to go around the car and get these little curved areas, and I have succeeded in totally fucking my car up. Completely burned it, completely out in no time flat. Just as soon as I touched it. I was trying to use this wool pad, and I put all around the edge. I had some polish, number 1 medium cut cleaner, and it just dug right in there and fucking wrecked it. Just wrecked it. Okay, now as the light fades away, I kept going on the car and got the whole thing done with the fine cut, and now I'm back tackling this horrendous problem here. I've got my little B&M. Little tiny little paint gun plugged into my tire there. Gets the air from a tire, and I'm going to try to just get some black. I put some rattle can primer on here, I'm using my old black paint from what I had left over in the can. Okay, I laid a coat on there. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit here, let it flash off. It shouldn't take long, it's a pretty thin coat. And then it's only 62 degrees though. But I'm going to get a couple coats, make sure it's covered, and that's it for tonight. Well, here we are looking at this in the light of day. After I laid that black down last night, I can see that I flocked it all up. I've got primer bounced clear up onto the sail panel area here. I see a bunch of dribble down here, which I sanded on. So I'm just sanding on this with 1500. Looking over here, and this is totally screwed up too. Obviously, I sanded through that, or I didn't paint enough on, or something. That's what you get when you work in low light. Don't work under low light conditions, okay? I'm sure I'm going to get comments on this. I've seen Dale do this dozens of times over at Colton's Custom Rods. He blends in areas and makes them real nice, but I can't do it. I know I can't. They had some product called Blender. You spray on with the clear. I don't have that. I'm just trying to get this thing ready for a cruise. I want it to be all shiny for a cruise tomorrow. My last cruise is here in Portland, here in late September. Alright, so what should I do now? I did a shitty job of masking, and it's somehow folded over, and there's a big line of frickin' primer all across there. That's no good. Well, here we go with another day. Instead of going to the cruise-in on a Sunday afternoon, I'm back here trying to correct this thing. If you can see this, I started sanding on this. I put some more black with that little B&M touch-up gun and a few coats of clear on here. And you can see the small amount of texture in the paint there, even with that little tiny gun. It left some of this. And also over here we've got these little things here, little bubbles that shot out right towards the end when the little gun bowl was getting empty. It shot these things out, and I'm thinking, well, they should be right on top. I should be able to sand them out, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I don't want to sand too far because there's not that many coats of clear on here with that little gun. So I'm hoping I can get these things out without sanding through the clear, and I'm hoping that up here it will blend from when I sprayed the blending agent on there. And I went and bought a can of it and sprayed it on here, and we're going to try to blend this in with the buffer once I get it completely sanded. So I'm rubbing like hell on this spot right here. I don't get it. It's like it's softened up. Okay, I got after it even harder with the 1500 and then the 2000 to get more of that orange peel out of there. I think we're going to have to get over here, try to work it this way possibly. My damn handle hits down here. This is so, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. Okay, cross my fingers. I'm going to try polishing through here again. Let's see how do I almost have to do. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't like that at all. This is the most difficult part for me. Alright, here we go. I'll probably make a blog when this is all said and done. Look for a link down in the description, down beneath, if you hit more. And look at the links down there, but that will cover everything that you should not do and show all my mistakes. But here's where I'm at. Got it down with the 2000, and I'm going to start polishing it with light polish compound, and we'll see.
About this, producer Jeff in there.
Okay, I sanded it down with a 1500. I started with 1500 on this because I didn't want to sand too heavy a grip, but well, I'll tell you what, I really got to work out sanding this. The paint was amazingly hard, and you can see this is where I ended up. Once it's sanded flat, if those circles are still in there, I was going to leave them. I don't want to go any further. So I'm going to go over it with 2000 in my hand here and clean it off and take the buffer to it. We'll see what happens. Okay, here's the car. The second polish completed. I'm going to wait to do the final polish with the number 21. In fact, I may not even use that when I look at areas like this quarter panel, which has hit the worst. We look into here and we see these little tiny fissures, and the polish gets caught in there. It makes it look like little dots. So something like ebony black polish or something might be the answer to that, so we don't see all of that. Where these fish eyes came from, I don't know. I've heard about an additive. I've heard pros and cons. What's everybody have to say about that? Here's the repair. I was able to improve it. I went over it again. If you can see this, it's hard for me to see through my viewfinder, but it's smushed in there. It almost looks like it's the clear coat that I sprayed on that's coming off. It's on top of the old clear coat, and I'm almost thinking I might want to just sand that section off of there and then repolish. It might work, because most of the I didn't sand the old clear off up here. I did down in here where all the damage was, but not up there. So that might be the answer. I'm going to wait on that. I got this thing all wiped off. I don't feel like getting all messed up again. So there we have it. Take a little break. I'm tired. Been working every day for a couple weeks on this. So yeah. So defects and all, this is what we have. Leave a comment. Tell me how bad off you think it is for a race car. Remember, it's going to get pretty beat pretty soon when I start hooning with the thing, dragging it and all that stuff.